Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Game Bites Show. I am your host, Jared Red-Eye Dunn, joined by Sir Jeremy Lawman Lamont.
Knighted, bequeathed, and ready to rock and roll.
Bequeathed? Oh man, we could better get someone to clean that up.
Right on my face. I don't know what that means.
Well, I don't either, but someone clean it up, quick. Yeah, speaking of cleaning it up, we're continuing to clean up our playlist for the month of August with games of yore, things that haunt the hosts of the Game Bite Show's distant past. So tonight I'm going to play some Stronghold, actually Stronghold HD, which is a bit of a remake, upmake, you know where they take old games, they don't really do a ton to the assets themselves. They just make them work better on modern platforms, work with modern resolutions, and use modern matchmaking tools. So it's kind of cool. I like when companies do that.
And I think sometimes for those of us who have the nostalgia goggles, it's easier maybe to go back to some of those old games. For viewers and people who might be experiencing for the first time, I think it's a little bit of lubricant, I guess, let's say, to the experience.
Yes. So one thing that really kind of comes to mind when we play these old games like this that you really haven't touched in a while is really how rose tinted those goggles are that you wear. You know what I mean? Like, you go back and play. Last week we played Myth: The Fallen Lords, and boy, that game just doesn't look like much, does it?
Sometimes it's like easing into like some cold water. You're just like, ooh, wow.
Ooh. Looks like that texture was drawn on a postage stamp.
Yeah.
But no, it's good. And in fact, Stronghold is good. And it is one in a series of games developed by Firefly Worlds, one of my favorite developers out of England. So they have produced Stronghold, Stronghold 2, Stronghold 3, Stronghold Legends, Stronghold Crusader, Stronghold Crusader 2, Stronghold Kingdoms, which is a sort of browser-based MMO. And
Son of Stronghold, Stronghold Revenge.
Yes, there is. They worked with Firaxis on. I think it was Firaxis on Civ City Rome, which was an excellent city-building game based in the Roman era. They also made. There's a space one. I'll think of it. We'll think of it later, y'all.
They did, or just that exists in general?
They made it. It's really good. Space.
Is it like Imperia something?
No,
or I don't know.
no.
I don't know what it is. I can look it up.
Firefly Worlds. And
it looks like they did Stronghold. I can see that.
Dude, that game is so good too. Okay, the resolution gets better on this game. Unlike Myth, where it just stayed like garbage forever. I will adjust the volume. It's super loud. Space Colony. Very silly, good game.
I am not familiar even a little bit with that.
Dude, that game's really good. It's actually kind of hard. So here's the thing with these Stronghold games. Is they're actually kind of hard.
Well, it seems like they're complicated, right? Is that fair to actually just say that it's really
life in the old castle?
Yeah, all right.
Happy times them were. The people were all so
I so
much
distinctly remember this
friendlier.
cutscene.
Oh, and how
We're watching the
we
whole thing.
feasted.
Oh, wow. We can't miss any of these important story points.
Look at that gruel.
The fair maidens as well. There was work, of course, sharpening our minds.
Wake up, pikeman!
Making us strong.
Everybody was so lazy.
Look at that grass. That's great.
but mainly I remember it as a happy time. Oh, yes. And then there were the neighbors.
What year
Oh, look at
did
that!
you say already?
The original Stronghold released in, I want to say it was 97?
Greetings, sire. Your stronghold awaits you.
Let's look at that up. 2001, I apologize. Not 97. 2001, so a little bit newer. We're going to edit. I had to find. Oh my goodness, this music is great, by the way. I mean, this song's pretty good, but all of the music is really great. But we're going to turn it all down for the sake of me being able to hear my own thoughts.
Yeah.
That's pretty typical. Let's turn this kind of way down. The music is kind of distracting. So this game also had fun, like, Easter eggs. You can change your name, and certain names would make the guy say something silly. I forget what they were.
Let's see.
Yeah. I don't know why.
Stronghold 2 Easter eggs.
Anyway, video options. We got all that.
Lord Vader.
Lord Vader, that's right. Alright, we'll go with that. Okay, so Stronghold. So the Stronghold franchise was kind of split into two: Stronghold and Stronghold Crusader. The Stronghold Crusader games were more sort of focused on military and sort of aggressive gameplay. Not to say that it's not important in Stronghold games, but they were a lot more focused on sort of the semi aspects. And in fact, there's two ways you can play the original Stronghold: in the combat-based mode over on the first menu option, or in the economic-based mode. And then, of course, there's a map editor. So what's really cool is if you don't enjoy the combat, you can play just a ton of games. There's a whole campaign for economic. There's a whole bunch of missions you can do, and then of course there's free build. Now free build lets you just do whatever. It doesn't like limit you. There's no objectives, and then you can build up your defenses and say, okay, now I want an attack of a large army from the north or something, and kind of they come in at you waves. So that's really cool. There's also a map editor, which this is one of the quality of life things they've updated in the HD version. Is this now syncs with Steam, I believe? So if you go to the Steam Workshop for Stronghold HD, you can download other users' maps straight into your game. Pretty cool.
And are there objectives in these maps? I mean, is it just like survive and destroy everybody else, or?
I believe there can be. There's Siege that. So I actually have it loaded up in GOG, which is hilarious. But you can create like custom sieges. So it's like you've built a defense with an army, a defending army, and you've built an attacking army, and you can take control of sort of either side. I believe is what that sort of is. So you can do. It did have multiplayer, which is pretty cool. There are these are called invasions, and this is where I am, a defending army. I believe you can be the defender or the attacker. So we can actually check one of these out real quick.
They look really intimidating. Every single one of those, I'm like, I don't want anything to do with any of
This
it.
game is kind of tough. Like it's kind of tricky. Just like kind of we talked about this last week. How games, I want to say older games. It's not that they were necessarily harder. They just weren't as forgiving, right? So if you messed up, you make a mistake. It's like, oh yeah, congratulations, you made the mistake.
Yeah, that 4 hours. Yeah, exactly.
Remember when
playing
games
this 4 hours,
you're
gonna do it again.
They didn't even save. Like some games were really cool, and when you beat a level, you got like a code at the end that you had to write down so you could skip to that point.
Oh yeah.
Some of them you did, and you just had to leave that Nintendo on so that you could pick it up later after dinner.
Or overnight. Did you ever? Do you remember the first day you left an NES running overnight, and you're like, "Oh my gosh."
The
how
wolf's
nervous.
troops are attacking.
So
People are leaving the castle.
here we go. So here's what we start with. And we can kind of zoom out. This is a huge map, but here's the attacking force. And he's got macemen, and different units are good at different things. He's got just a ton of macemen and bowmen. So if there are any guys out here, they are doomed. We do have a catapult, though, on these defenses, which is great. These defensive catapults will do a good job.
Is that wise? You first.
They kind of do like an area effect. So, ooh, you can see they got a few.
The wolf's troops are attacking.
Imagine being like that guy who just was like minding his own
Dude.
business.
I know, right?
Are there castles that are arranged like this? These walls are kind of weird. Was there like a bigger castle here, like during the days of Gondor, and now we're...
Yeah, that's kind of what it feels like, right? So you've got these sort of like outposts out here. I really want this guy to fire at will.
Which one of them is Will?
All of them.
We'll
They're
try
all
our
will.
best. Mangonel ready, sire.
Oh, they're shooting back. Oh,
Yeah.
Jump to it.
Okay, that guy's dead.
Danger, my lord. A massive army of the wolf will
I mean, I think
soon
I would
be
just sort
upon
of
us.
like lay low there instead of getting shot.
So they are coming at us here. What are we gonna do?
What?
I hope you leave the sentence
Yes,
just like
boss.
that.
We're gonna
We gotta-
retreat our.
What are
mason
we gonna
attack.
do?
What are we gonna do?
Advance to the rear.
That's absolutely
Shoulder.
correct.
Hogs.
We gotta get these archers out of the way. These crossbowmen are doomed. There's no way they survive. Okay, so the archers will actually do pretty good against these macemen. They don't have a lot of armor. That's good news for us. The macemen can damage these walls.
Were there really this many guys hanging out on castle walls back in...
I don't think
back
so.
in the day?
No. They've got a bunch of siege engineers sitting down there. Where we're really
The
gonna get in
wolf's
trouble
troops are attacking.
is these archers eventually are gonna come for us, you see.
Mangonel ready, sire.
It seems like you would... I mean, you've got more archers. You
I've
should
got a
try
lot
to-
of archers. But there's multiple waves that are gonna come at us.
Danger, my lord. A massive army of the wolf will soon be upon us.
Yeah, these guys are gonna be trouble. Archers don't do so much damage to the knights. We'll be fine. Do we have pitch out here?
I mean, I think...
I don't think so.
Does it matter that those guys are running along the wall like that? Like, does that make them harder to hit?
Yeah, walls do have collision. No, these guys are dead. They won't survive. No way. There's no ammo. These tents are trouble. These are they're building siege engines here. Dude, these
get 'em.
knights. Oh my goodness. Do we have pikemen at all? We do not. And we also cannot build any traps. What is this? Chopping block.
How can we help?
The wolf's troops are attacking.
Chopping block?
Winding her up.
So what they've done with that is there is a mechanic in this game
You are
called
truly
Fear
the
Factory.
cruelest tyrant in the kingdom, your lordship.
And because we have some like fear buildings, our efficiency is 150%.
Because you have fear buildings.
So people are more afraid, so they'll be more efficient. We're gonna crank the taxes here.
Are you collecting taxes while this fighting is going on?
Yeah, it won't be very effective. One of our objectives was to collect 2,000 gold, but I don't know how that's gonna happen.
Are there any people to collect gold from?
No, I don't think so. We have no one outside. We have these guys outside. These
Save us, my
two.
lord. The barbarians are approaching.
Oh my goodness.
We're
Okay, I want
our
all my
macemen.
macemen in the castle.
What do you need?
We
Move,
will
you
surrender
souls.
the outer walls when the time comes.
Can you build more, like, stone walls on the inside?
Can I? Do I have any stone? Oh, I could have built. Oh, I don't have any Oh, I do have war dogs.
I don't think dogs are going to help you that much.
Dude, these dogs are great. Don't diss the dogs.
Gold needed.
Oh, I'm out of gold.
Have you ever been playing like an RTS game and you're building like a great base? Just like an awesome base that you're really proud of?
Yeah, all the time.
And then dudes will just like roll in.
And they just obliterate it.
Burn it all.
Yeah, all the time.
Every time I play.
So we have a couple things available to us. We can shrink... Oh no, they've gotten around our... Oh no!
Nobody thought about the fact that they just go around. Who only built one wall?
Why didn't they finish this wall off?
Everyone's just sitting there.
Well, the good news is these knights cannot get up on the wall. I don't think they can dismount this. Oh, they have
on walls.
Ready,
I mean, you'd think if you stick them with enough arrows, they'll fall over.
we'll try our
They
best.
do, but they've got a lot of armor.
Ballista, ready.
Even in the horse.
I mean, that makes sense. I'm not going to say that doesn't make
They
sense.
look mean, my lord.
We're going to get these ballistas shooting.
I mean, it's like a stupid number of arrows.
Yeah, it is a lot of arrows.
I mean, come on.
Hang her up.
It's like playing Destiny or something, and like you clink away at a guy for 3 hours.
Yep, that's right. Just kind of cheese him by standing up on a rock where he can't, like,
Yep.
pass to you. Alright, what do we got? Oh, okay. Now, so these guys are actually what are going to be our undoing. I'm going to let you know right now. This is the end of the game for us.
You should finish building your wall.
I don't have any wood. This
Build
game
that
requires
wall.
complex, like, industries. I have
Here's
no
what you do.
industry.
Here's what you do. Here's what you do. Is secretly take some from the other end of the wall.
Like,
Move it over.
you're saying delete this to gather stone? I cannot build walls, though. I can maybe build a tower. No, there's still a gap.
Yeah, but they'll have to go through one at a time. You know, put your mace guys up there. Like, they'll have to at least do it fast. Hurry, put them up there so they can block it off.
No, we got this. We can gather up enough stone. Deleting other stone.
Who is doing the gathering? This is so bizarre.
Place that there, my lord.
Oh no, they got too close! We were too slow. Oh no, these guys are just gonna go ham on these
Instructions.
archers. Straight
Move them
up.
off.
Get
I
them
wish
back.
I was as tough as any one of those guys.
We await orders.
They're
Leave
just
them
walking, so they're
now.
not even running. They're
Move
just like
them
walking.
off.
We're retreating. Retreat
Yes.
everyone to the
We
inner
are on our
to the
way.
inner castle.
I mean, it's not like those arrows were doing
ready.
any good anyway.
Pretty much not at all.
My bow is yours. Leave him now.
Oh no! Oh no, here they come.
Me lord,
Get them to the inner castle.
that's quite a run.
Stop whining. I'm trying to save your life.
Instructions. Moving off.
Lord, my toes hurt.
I don't know, it's kind of a long way to not die.
We await orders. We are on our way.
Oh man, we almost had it there, dude. That would have been legit. Oh, look at them just get absolutely cut down. They stand no chance.
Need some what? Yes, boss.
This game is serious. Don't ever let anyone tell you it's not. So Firefly just actually announced at E3, and in fact, we talked about this on our podcast. It was one of my most anticipated games of E3. Was their codename Stronghold Next, which has been revealed as Stronghold Warlords, a sort of feudal East Asia game. So it involves China, Japan, Vietnam, and Mongolia. So that'll be really cool.
Vietnam, huh?
Yeah, pretty cool.
So what is it these guys could potentially do up here? Anything, or are they just gonna wander around?
They're gonna Honestly, I don't know. I think we've got this one in the bag, if this is the largest assault force. Oh gosh, there's so many, and they're totally fresh.
I just wonder what they could even possibly be doing.
Oh, they'll just tear down the walls. They'll Mr. Gorbachev this castle. I should have retreated my crossbowmen, because they're... No. Stay up here. They're actually good against the armored units. See, they're tearing down the wall. That's real bad.
Yes.
Seems like that would be a difficult proposition to say.
Just hit the wall with your sword.
Yeah.
All right.
Here comes some guys. They're gonna horse the wall down.
Yeah. Yes.
Everybody use your verbs on that wall.
Yes.
It's like, oh no, there's an incursion of English teachers. They're gonna verb our wall.
Look. They're gonna use their verb pipe.
Mad libs. I mean, it looks so stupid. Look at those guys standing up there on top of that tower, and there's just like a rain of arrows coming down.
I don't know why you're besmirching one of the greatest games of all time.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying it looks like an idiot convention up there.
Here, now they'll have fire arrows. Because what's better than arrows? Fire arrows.
I mean, it's super effective against forces.
Yes.
Imagine what it's like to be that guy who is riding, just like getting pelted by arrows.
We're gonna delete all these walls.
I'd also like to understand how does it work, plausibly, that these walls just start disappearing and you can suddenly start building wooden things.
Dude, it's video game. Okay, we're building spike
Can't
traps
place that there, my lord.
forever.
Can't place that there, my lord.
They're too close.
Wood needed.
I
Can't
think they'll
place
just walk
that
right
there,
on.
my lord.
This is like the first power defense.
Oh no, they're going around the back. I never expected that. Man, we should have learned when they went around the side.
They are expert going arounders.
What's this guy down on the floor doing?
So do you have any interesting buildings inside that castle? Like what else going on?
Oh, I have a market.
It seems like it would do you a whole lot of good. Maybe these guys need to take lunch breaks. They can get a hoagie at your market.
Yeah. So here's what we do. We delete all this nonsense, including the thing, literally the thing those guys were standing on. Sorry guys, you're now standing on the ground.
They look like they were just having a coffee break too. Like,
Dude, they're totally relaxed. We're actually gonna send them down here
Moving
to murder
out.
these defenseless engineers. Gonna delete all of this. We're gonna have some stone, and then we're gonna sell the stone, and we're gonna complete that objective to have like money. I didn't realize we had a market. Oh, we can't sell stone. We're doomed.
I mean, it looks like they're not doing very much though.
We might survive.
My boy's yours.
Is this what it really looked like back then?
Yes. You could also make the buildings go completely flat, too. True story.
Now, I think you said there are scenarios there. Did I understand there's an actual campaign for this?
There's a what?
A campaign.
There is. So the hilarious thing is the amount of units that are on this map
Moving out.
would take you approximately 17.8 years to
Shoulder. Homes.
get within a campaign game.
Ready, sir.
So yeah.
Moving out. Fall in.
So that's hilarious. Oh no, they've destroyed the gatehouse. Oh, bad.
Don't you have like some? Are those your footstool? Who are those guys there?
Oh, they're archers. They just got mowed down.
Running away. Go block them.
Okay, so up here I have basement. Okay, out go the basement.
Just in the nick of time.
Oh, the macemen are doing work. We might survive.
Is there arithmetic that happens? I mean, is it just like an RTS thing? How,
Ready, me lord.
every unit has a certain amount of armor and so on?
Yeah, so this guy is pretty low on armor, but he has a really high attack. The archers have a long range and shoot fast, but they don't penetrate armor very well. The knights have a lot of armor, they have a lot of speed, they cannot get on walls, and they're like really expensive to get. These guys are sort of your top unit. High armor, high damage, but they're very slow, obviously. The crossbowmen here actually are really good against them. Yeah, we'll win this. This is done.
Nice.
Jump to it. Sir. Forward.
We're going to continue to just absolutely destroy these engineers down here. Look at that. Just in cold blood. Oh, they're just sitting there reading.
They really were defenseless.
They're literally defenseless. They can do nothing.
Just like real life engineers.
Right. That's literally how this happens to me all the time. I'm just sitting there trying to build my sky trebuchet. Someone comes along with a crossbow. What do we got left? I think that's it. Oh, we've got a...
Shoulder. Homes.
Is that it?
How do you tell? Do you have to like go hunt down the one guy?
Yeah, pretty much.
Ugh.
Oh, there's a few knights over here.
They just kind of got stuck.
Here. Our
Instructions.
brave macemen are gonna sally out.
What? All that way?
Wow, like how he whines. We just saved your life, dude.
Now go throw it away fighting horses.
Right.
Punch a horse.
Punch the horse. You know, they might do okay. They probably won't, though. Hey, look, we can rebuild our gate. That's not a gate, that's a barracks.
Thing.
Oh,
so
we
can you
can-
keep producing units and stuff?
We cannot rebuild our gate. We can replace the gate with a tower.
Now
Oh
nobody
no,
can
here
get
they
out.
come.
What? Charge!
Oh, we got one. Oh, we got him.
Smash him!
It's like watching ants.
Here.
We have survived the enemy's onslaught.
All right, we did it, y'all. We did it.
Huzzah!
We are king of the castle. Ha ha
And
ha.
do they all do? Are they doing like a clap there?
Our
Yes.
gold stocks grow steadily, sire. I would stay inside and hide just now, sire.
That's because they're really
I would
angry
stay
with me.
inside and hide just now, sire.
Ready, sir.
Yeah, I don't know about this objective to make gold. Time until the last battle. Oh my god, that's not even the last
that
battle.
wasn't even it.
Oh, we're out of here. Okay, so that's what those are. Those are pretty fun. So there is a military campaign. It's like a full storyline. You can jump in here. But here's what I think we should do. We're going to make a map. We're going to make a castle on our very own map. And it's going to be the SS Game Bites show castle. Okay.
So this is like free building, essentially.
Yes. Free building. So there are some limitations. So to get wood, you have to have trees. This white stuff up here is stone. The black is pitch. That's how you get like... it's like a fire defense. This is not mineable stone, so we're going to ignore that. This is mineable stone, but I don't know if we can get across this water. Let's see, is there any iron?
And this map, this is not randomized, right? Like you've picked a template map.
Yes.
And then you can sort of remix it for your own.
I don't see any iron. Okay. Well, so we also have to build farms kind of on the lowlands. I don't think you can build them up here. So we're gonna start. We're gonna start right here. I think this looks like a lovely spot. We need to site your granary, sire. Oh, you know what? This only lets you build defenses. Okay.
That's
well,
weird.
that's fine. So we're going to build an incredible defensive structure. Double thick walls. Double thick. That's thick with 2 C's. Alright. And crenellations. Alright, this is going to be awesome. Awesome! Yes, just like that. Okay. Uh-huh. Perfect.
I'm curious, do crenellations give your archers like a defensive bonus, or are they just decorative?
They do. I don't know how much. That I actually don't want, so I don't know why I built stairs there. We actually need a gate. So let's build a big gate. Because I like big gates and I cannot lie. We're going to build a moat around our castle too, because we're on lowlands, so that's perfect. Moats are great because for them to get siege ladders or siege towers up to your castle, they will have to dig out the moat first, fill in the moat. So in order to get to access to our walls, they will have to stand here and get shot with arrows while they try to fill this ditch in. All right. Magnificent. Magnificent.
Historically, do we know how moats would be defeated in actual history?
Fill them with dirt, wood, bridges, I suppose.
So they actually do those things then. I mean,
think
I
so.
don't know.
I think so, yeah. So let's build some towers. We have a square castle, so we're going to build square towers. Beautiful. Okay, so here's the weak part of our defense, you see, is sort of this smaller tower over here. Now, the bigger tower can support a siege engine, such as this, and this, and this, but the little one cannot. Bummer. So we can get pitch. What else do we want here? Oh, we already got a keep.
So does the stuff... I guess here's a question that I have for you. So I can kind of get the idea of the tactical kind of component. I mean, this is essentially the whole game, right? Is just kind of looking at these scenarios.
Not entirely. So one thing we haven't shown at all is let's do something entirely different. We're going to play the economics campaign. Okay, so
The
our
royal court
objective
is
is
soon
to
to
acquire
host a
goods,
great
100
banquet.
cheese, acquire
We
goods
need
of
you
12
to
ale,
found a small village for
and
the
to do
production
it
of
this
ale
quick.
and place a keep to site your castle.
That is
my
also
liege.
my personal life goal.
Site your granary, sire.
So we're gonna place our granary. You want the granary near where you're gonna grow food. So here. And now I need a stockpile. You need your stockpile.
Needs to be placed adjacent to the stockpile.
I'm sorry, we already have a stockpile. We're rotated weirdly. That's why I was confused. There we go. That's better. So here we go. We had an objective to grow cheese, so let's get this cheese going. To grow cheese, you gotta have pigs, you see. Are there animals to hunt? Yes. You get bonuses by having different kinds of food. So it's kind of important to diversify your economy a little bit.
What was that game? It seems like there was something that we were playing where serfs would sort of be like level 1 serfs until you fulfilled certain needs.
The Anno games are kind of like that.
Yeah, they do have that. Does this do something
This
like that?
does not. So it is a sim in the sense that like
Morning, your lordship.
this guy is a guy, and he will
Right.
walk over here, and then he will go cut down a tree, and then he'll bring back the wood, he'll refine it, and he'll walk it over here. And he sort of repeats that task over and over and over. Now, if I were to build up more industry here, you see him carrying the logs, I would have to
This
deplete some
policy
of
of
my
no taxes is the least we could expect.
out of work peasants here, my idle peasants. I only have 2. So I can build 2 more buildings and populate those. But if I want to build military units, which we won't need to in the economic campaign, I have to use those same unemployed units. So sometimes you're going to want guys sitting around. Another tactic you can use is to sleep a building. Turn a building off, that peasant will go back to the peasant pool, for lack of a better word. So we're going to need a new hovel. That'll give us some more villagers. Now villagers will come in, and villagers only come in if you have a
The people
positive
love you, my
popularity.
lord.
So we have a +1 popularity, which means they'll come in at a certain rate. Now, if we were to increase that popularity by having, say, now we have more
The
food
people
types.
love you, my lord. Our food stocks are dwindling, my liege.
2, we get, if we have 2 food types, we get more popularity.
Our
You can
food
also
stocks are
increase your
dwindling,
rations
my
so they eat
liege.
faster, or you can decrease them if you're running low, stuff like that.
So does this, I guess there would be a goal of some kind to get like a certain amount of income, certain amount of...
Yes, so
stock
our
money?
objective in this one is to get 100 cheese and 12 ale.
Oh yes, that's right.
So to get that cheese, I really, that's a lot of cheese. So we're going to build some more farms.
Can't place that there, my
I
lord.
can't build this because there's a hunting dog in the way. Okay,
Move him.
dude, I wish.
What
I wish I could
animal is
black
that?
and
Looks
white.
like a basset hound or something.
Yeah, it's like a greyhound or something. I don't know.
Can't place that there, my lord.
All right. So the hops, I actually placed these in the wrong spot. I should have placed these closer because the hops will actually go to the stockpile, not the granary, but it's fine. Look, do you hear the baby? This lady's holding a baby.
Aw.
Yeah, it's sweet, isn't it? Oh, nope.
That
What else?
medieval baby is long dead now.
Yes. He died in the year 1286 of
Black
dysentery. Yeah. Alright, so we're doing good here. We're gonna build another hunting lodge, hunter's post. I'm gonna build 2 of
A
these.
message from your scribe.
Thieves have stolen some food from the granary. Those scoundrels. We're gonna build some wheat farms. Now, to build wheat is kind of complex. So you got to get some farms up and going. Then you got to get a mill,
Not enough workers available to run
and then
this
you build your
building.
bakery. And we've run out of peasants, so we need more
Can't place
peasants.
that there, my lord.
All right, how are we doing on our objectives? We only have 7 cheese. It's not very
I mean,
good.
pretty good, though, that you're making cheese. I mean, it's not easy. Being cheesy.
That's right. Chester the cougar
Cheetah.
or whatever.
Chester the cheetah.
Yeah, whatever. All right. This game is also not very politically correct. The people it employs for the mill is child labor. See,
Historically
Now,
accurate.
my lord.
Kevin Redbeard, who is like 8 and has no beard, is a miller.
Redbeard.
Morning, your lordship.
Morning, you lo- Oh, they also name all the cows. Bessie. Bessie. They're all named Bessie apparently. Oh, there's a Buttercup. And a Bessie. And a Buttercup. And a Clover. So, one of the interesting things about the game is, again, it's a sim. These cows are your stock of cows. So if we were to start making military units and wanted either macemen or crossbowmen, they wear leather armor. Well, they get the leather from the cow. So the armorer would walk over here, take a cow back to his workshop, slaughter it, make the armor, and then the farmer would have to, breed a new cow. Similarly, if you use the trebuchet to launch a dead cow into the enemy keep to spread disease, you use one of these cows.
What? Come on.
Dude, it's hyper realistic. Alright, how we doing now? Okay, we got 20 cheese and no ale. So the hops are about to come in. We'll start to see them gather up over here. Oh, in fact, we have some hops here. So the brewer will walk over and start gathering some of this. In fact, one of the things I love is you can actually see the people making it, like, in their little hut. So you can see the brewer in there, like, brewing their brews. Tea. Or beer. Ale. Whatever. Ah, and here she goes, rolling a barrel. So that's our first 2 out of 12. So let's get one more cheese hut. And one more brewer going here. Because we're a third of the way done, I'm starting to get a little concerned. We are actually doing okay on cheese. And this will actually improve as we start to produce bread. So as our wheat production gets underway here, we will have to rely less on solely eating cheese.
Our hop plants are overrun with hop weevil.
That is
Crop is ruined, my liege.
really bad news. How much hops do we have in this storage? Only 3. And they're making 2, so that's 5 total. 5, 7, we've got 2 there now, so we've got 7. We'll need to regrow at least 1 new harvest. They are working in the mill. You can see the kids up in the top of the mill here, in the windmill.
Stupid children. You should unionize.
That's right. And to think, they worked all of this just to eat one ration of dirt.
Plague has descended on your castle, your lordship.
What? That's not fair.
Something wrong with our hops, man.
So that dude just died. That's sad.
He deserved it, though. I mean, in the Middle Ages, you didn't live to be more than like 30.
There was like green gas floating in the air. Why would you walk through that?
The people hold you in great
Lack
esteem,
education.
my lord.
Right.
Our hop plants are overrun with hop weevil.
Dude,
Crop is ruined, my liege.
this isn't going to end well if we can never grow hops again. So our baker's in there baking his bread. The worker's working. That's always good news. How are we doing? 44 cheese, 4 ale. We got time. We got time. We got this. So, this is the first mission. This is the easy one. This game is tough.
They're not even fighting people.
That's right.
it always like a one or the other? Does it ever mix?
It can. So the military campaign does have. I mean, in the military campaign, you still have to build these industries. Like the map we played the first time was just like, here's your guys, here's your defenses, here's
Have
your
fun
attack.
fighting.
That's not how the game normally is. Normally, like a campaign is like this. You might start with a pre-built town, but most of the time it's like, place your key,
Here's a
place your
cow.
granary, here's a bunch of land. Now you gotta go mine stone to build walls and wood to make palisades. Oh, you want archers? Well, you need more wood and you need a bow maker. You want spearmen? Well, wood and a pole turner. You want pikemen? Well, you need to mine metal. You need a blacksmith to make armor. You need a pole turner to make the spear, the pole axes.
Sticks.
That's right. So it can get kind of complex with some of those units. You want to make a knight? Well, you need a blacksmith for the armor, a swordsmith for the swords. Oh, by the way, those both use metal, which you have to mine from a metal mine. And you need a stable where you breed horses and gold, so you have to tax your peasants.
Yeah, that is a lot of complicated systems.
So we're doing great on cheese. We're doing terrible on the hops because we cannot get anything to grow. I'm gonna put down one more hop farm just to see if we can like sneak one through. And we got the peasant. Like he does absolutely no good sitting down there. He's literally doing nothing. So.
The people hold you in great
Popularity is
esteem,
increasing,
my lord. Our
mostly because
foodstuffs are
we have 3
dwindling,
types of
my
food.
liege.
So that's good. That's goodness. Bread production looks pretty good. We could probably support one more baker, but I don't have a
Our
peasant.
hop plants are overrun with hop weevil. The crop is ruined, my liege.
I don't think I have any recourse to that. Like, I can make an inn, but I cannot make a trading post to buy more hops, so... This is some very vocal cows.
Moo.
And, like, this is so great. Back in the day, this was the only zoom level you could do. Now you can zoom out, and it's like you can see the whole map. The maps get bigger. The one we were on previously, obviously, was a bit big.
Your popularity is rising.
It's like an old C and say. The cow says.
Alright, so we're literally just trying to power through and grow some hops. I hope we
I
make
don't
it.
understand what the issue is. Like, are they
Pestilence is
guess
devastating
you-
our
how-
wheat crops, sire.
How is-
Random event.
pass?
Keeps
Really?
happening. Yeah.
Huh.
This time it was the wheat crop, so hopefully it just murders our food production. We all starve, but we get that ale and win the mission.
Yeah, that's a good point. You just have to cross the finish line. There's no accounting for what happens after.
No one cares what happens to the peasants when it's all said and done. We just have to get enough ale. So he's planting his stock. He's planting. This guy seems to be the furthest along, so let's root for him.
Now, I haven't noticed what kind of time passage is happening here.
None.
We're waiting for none. Okay, so it's
So,
just,
like, we have a timer. There's no day-night cycle. There's no seasons. Nothing like that in this game.
so it really. I mean, I guess it is a little bit more like the old, Age of Empires or something, where it's just like
Yeah.
the game goes at the pace that you spend the stuff. You hit a button,
Yes.
progress meter will fill up.
Yeah, exactly. There's no, as far as I recall, there is a gameplay speed option, but it's not like you can just speed it up, but it's not like a time,
Right.
like you hit the plus button to to make it go
Right.
faster.
Nobody cares if it took you 300 years to build the hops.
Yeah, this one is timer-based, and you know, timer-based missions in games like this are my least favorite. I'll be honest. I prefer when it's like maybe every few minutes a wave of enemies comes in, you have to like defend them, but you know, just straight up, oh, if you get to here, you fail.
Yeah.
Okay, we're good on cheese, and we're halfway on ale.
Maybe we can somehow combine the two.
Right, we just make some cheese beer.
Yeah.
Ugh.
I think that's a thing, though. Isn't there, like, beer-flavored cheese?
Yeah, but I don't think it's made from, like, fermented cheese, is it?
I mean, I haven't tried it.
I think it's just cheese with beer in it.
A pestilence is devastating
Okay,
our
they got our
crops,
wheat crops
sire.
again. No problem. Our
Our
food is
granny
fine.
crops are growing, sire.
Look how much food we are.
Full on food.
Yeah, dude, so much food. Oh, they're bringing in hops. Oh, what a good day. Okay, so there's 7, 8, 9. Well, here comes the 9. So if this guy can just bring in another load, my man, you've got it. If each of them can bring in another load, we're good.
The granary is full, my lord.
Oh yeah, the granary fills up. We can actually build another. Oh, just kidding. Normally you can build more and expand it. Oh yeah, here it is. Oh, but it has to connect. I've built farms around it.
Plague has descended on your castle, your lordship.
That's fine. It's just a little light plague. All right, I think we're good on ale. It's just a matter of time. Super good on cheese. This would be the first time we've ever won here at the Game Bite Show, ladies and gentlemen. It's going to be quite the moment.
And it's by sheer stupid perseverance.
It's
The
like
granary
literally
is
the
full, my
tutorial.
lord.
Don't worry about it.
Your popularity is falling.
My popularity.
The people hold you in
All right.
great esteem.
We better
my
start
lord.
the hangings.
So out of curiosity, speaking personally, so we're playing this month games from our own past. What is it to you that you know that makes Stronghold something special for you? Like, what itch does it scratch?
You know,
Pestilence
this
is devastating
game
our wheat crops,
was
sire.
kind of in a time when I was like super into castles, and I was really, you know, like we talked a little bit about Age of Empires earlier. Age of Empires 2 was really big for me, and I love to like sit down like in my free time at school like a hyper nerd and draw out on like graph paper. Like I was gonna design these castles and these villages and maps and stuff like that. And Stronghold really tickled that itch. And this is probably by and far my favorite series of sort of economic sim, city sim, you know what I mean? Like
Right.
more than the Anno series, more than the Settlers series. All of those are great games, but Stronghold was my jam.
The
My
granary
Castle
is
Jam.
full, my lord.
That's a song on the soundtrack, by the way, Castle Jam.
Oh,
Yeah. But for some reason, it just clicked. The industries made sense. I loved the mix between economy and military, the building of castles, that there were like walls and towers, and you could do multi-layers and do like siege engines and traps in between and pitch and that would catch fire, and like it was just really,
All sorts.
really fantastic.
Yeah.
So we're almost done. They just need to roll a few more barrels of ale down the road here.
come on, you hopsmeisters.
We got it. It's in the bag. And, you know, I don't know what it is. I feel like it was probably the first that I played out of, like, the Annos and Settlers and all those games. And
Yeah.
for that reason alone, it, like, clicked with me the best. But it was just always sort of a game I just loved. I love the aesthetic.
The
You know,
granary is full, my lord.
these are all just, like, 2D assets in this game. The Stronghold Crusader was also 2D like this, but all the others, yeah, we got it. victory.
Victory!
The later games, Stronghold 2 and on, were 3D. And Stronghold 2 was really great too. It added a lot more systems, some for better, some for worse.
I was going to ask about that, if it got more complicated as the series went
There
on.
was a system called for Gong. Like, you literally had to have a peasant that walk around and pick up poop. Otherwise, the city would fill with poop and people would leave.
Come on.
Like, it was really dumb. There was a crime and punishment system, so like you would have actual thieves like walking around on the map, and you had to have like bailiffs and stuff that would capture them and put them in like jails, a jailer or whatever. And that was okay. It just kind of felt needlessly complicated.
Right, like they just added on some stuff.
Whereas, you know, like it didn't expand the best parts of the game. It just added some of the worst parts on top of it.
Right.
But they did add more defensive traps, more units. They had a whole mercenary system where you could, instead of building the sword and the armor and hiring the troop, you could just go hire a mercenary that was somewhat similar, and it was a ton of gold, but it was an option, right? So pretty cool stuff. They actually also added a feature which is pretty prominent in their next game, is sort of molded from that in Stronghold 2, where you had estates kind of around the map, and so there were areas you could capture but couldn't directly control. So like you couldn't build stuff in it, but they would become allied to you. So you could say like, hey, I want you to focus on food, and they would like build food, and you could send carts to transport that food back to your base. So that's kind of
cool.
It was kind of cool. So that would alleviate, be like, oh well, I'm gonna have this estate and I'm gonna have them focus on the food economy, so I can build fewer farms in my castle and build more weapon shops, so I can, make a bigger army or something like that. But they were easy to capture, so you couldn't build defenses on them, so you kind of had to keep an eye on that. And the next game, Stronghold Warlords, that's kind of what they're talking about, is very similar sort of aspect, which Stronghold 2 was the only game they had that. Stronghold 3 kind of did away with it, and the Crusaders never had it. So I'll be curious to see where they go with that. I enjoy seeing the new setting come along. Stronghold, again, games of yore, we're playing all of August, just older games that really clicked with us. I really like this game. I love that they didn't redo any of these assets, right? Those are all the original graphics, all the original characters and voices, all that. But, they made it bigger. Obviously, the game used to only run in this, like, small box.
Right.
Right? But, they've upscaled it. They added this fancy wood background, so you can play it on 1920 by 1080 or whatever.
Right.
And overall, they've just done a fantastic job of supporting it, and is one of my favorite games from 2001, and not the oldest game in the world, but you know what? It's coming up on 20 years.
Yeah, believe it or not.
Here and not too long. So check it out. You can find it just about anywhere. It goes on sale very frequently, so you kind of keep an eye out for that. Stronghold HD here on the Game Byte Show. And speaking of castles, join our castle peasantry at the Game Byte Show.
Keep going. Roll with it. Make it work.
Here at GameByteShow.com, where we bring you good tidings from our lordship twice a week. News, new releases, topic of our choice, and then our midweek show with a video game we've been playing, like Stronghold.
Yeah.
Check us out on Twitter at GameByteShow. I'm at red_I.
I am at Jeremy_Lamont. You can find our podcasting compatriots. Legrand Jolly is at Legrand, Legrande, and Dale Jones is at Count Elmdor.
That's right. Of course, you're watching us here on twitch.tv/GameByteShow or possibly youtube.com/GameByteShow, where we send our archives. Whichever the case is, subscribe to both. Get those notifications when we go live. And if you ever miss one, pop over to YouTube and rewatch. Catch up with us. Find us on Discord, which you can find from our webpage or our Twitch channel. Or our Twitter page. I did finally update that after like 8 years. Our profile now has our Discord channel on it. But yeah, check it out. Come join the conversation and the community. It's been actually really lively the past, I want to say 2 or 3 weeks. We've had a few newcomers come along, and you start to reach that critical mass, and people start talking about video games, and that's what we're here for. And that's
all
what we
odds.
hope you're here for. If you're not here for that, I don't know why you stuck around, but we're glad you did. And we'll see you next week on Monday, 10 o'clock Central. Same place.
Same bat time. Can I say that? Oh.
Yeah. Why not? Bye! That's it. That's all 4,000 things we talked about. It's real bad, but that's them.
We're done.
See ya.